So why the fuck do people get their feelings hurt? When I talk about getting your feelings hurt, I mean, for example, when people point out that, oh, you look ugly, oh, you look so fat, oh, like just whatever stuff about yourself that you feel insecure about. And then when people point that shit out and you get your feelings hurt and you begin flipping out, you got mad at whoever that pointed this shit out. Let it be on purpose or like they wasn't even noticing that they were saying something that would be offensive to you. So before high school, I was this person that was just outgoing. I wasn't afraid of showing the whole piece of myself to other people. Even if I don't know that person completely, I could just be like, hey, what's up? And be goofy and stuff. Ever since the beginning of high school, entering the adolescence, I began to be more aware that people are always making judgments about your look. People are always making judgments about like the way you talk, stuff like that. It's just some adolescent shit, like stuff that people gradually begin to realize. You gradually began to be more aware of like other people's judgments towards you, and whether you want it or not, how you should act in order to fit into the environment you're in. I was in a position where all the girls in my class like boys in K-pop culture, where they all got a petite body type, pale skin, a lot of feminine traits. I didn't fit into that persona at all. I was this little kid with buzz cut. Definitely compared to a lot of other people around me, I was with a darker skin. It was just, at the time, I was really tanned. Also at the time, I got the acne and everything on my face. I wasn't really taking care of my skin because, like I said before, I was just beginning my high school. And before high school, I didn't know nothing about no judgments or nothing. I was just this person that don't give a fuck about how I look, basically. And then the surrounding was kind of forcing me to pay more attention to the way I look, and I began feeling insecure about the acne on my face. I began seeing all these pictures of this fine K-pop man being talked about by this girl, and I began thinking about, oh shit, why is my face shaped like this? Why is my face shaped like square, not like an oval shape of those K-pop men? Why do I get tanned so easily? Why can't I just get a flawless skin like those men? Why do I got all these acne on my face? That's this question I began asking myself. I was even thinking about, oh, why is God being so unfair to me? Why do I have to be the person that is deemed ugly in this culture? Why can't I be one of those pretty boys that all the girls like, all the girls talk about? I began thinking a lot on that. And then by thinking that, I was kind of pushing myself in this endless thought loop that whoever creates me don't really want me to win, to thrive. It was a terrible feeling. I was constantly disappointed in myself. I remember I began wearing a mask in my junior year of high school. In class, like I would have a mask on my face, cover like all half of my face, and I would have that mask on all day just because I was so uncomfortable with people looking at my face. I can't even look at a person directly into his eyes like back in the days because I was just insecure about my look so bad. Like by looking into a person's eyes, my train of thought would be interrupted because my mind was so occupied with worrying about what this person might be thinking of me at that moment. And by wearing that mask, I would just make myself feel more comfortable. Especially at the time, the people around me, they like to make jokes about people's look. Like, I know they don't mean it in a very serious or malicious or a really hurtful ways. They start off the sentence with like, oh, you ugly ass, something, something, something. Oh, yo, Malik, you ugly. I mean, I was cool. I was really cool with those people. So that's why they say that shit around me. Like, they don't just like go out to a random person and say that, oh, you ugly as fuck. Nah, man. They were just like kind of joking around with me. But deep down inside, I was really uncomfortable with it because I would think that, why do you want to say that shit specifically to me while they're actually saying that shit like to each other as well? And this one time, this person was just making the same good old jokes about me, and I flipped out. I was like, you wanted to fight? You wanted to fight? Like that was like one of my closest friends back then. Like, you can take that statement as just a joke or as something seriously. It really depends on you. But the fact that this joke was making me have such a negative reaction to it, and the fact that this joke is making me do something so aggressive, it's something that is worth being thought of. Like, yeah, of course, people can tell me that, oh yeah, you're supposed to be reacting in that situation because he's disrespecting you. Yeah, you can of course interpret that shit as disrespectful. But what if you just don't even give a fuck about what other people think about you, and whatever other people say to you, you can always remain at peace of mind and choose not to react to it. Isn't that a powerful state of mind to be in? So let me tell you another situation where it intensifies my insecurity like 100 times worse. Basically, I went to this inter-school festival that took place in another school that was hella famous in my city. People from different high schools will go to that festival, and I went there. I saw this girl from my elementary school. I haven't met her ever since fourth grade, fifth grade or something. So she only remembered my face as like the younger version of myself. Because when I was younger, I was looking pale. My skin was, real smooth. And I would say I was a good looking kid. So this girl know the mate that I had back then. So I was like, oh yeah, let's link up. Because I haven't seen her in a while and I want to know like how she's doing. And we met up in that festival. Guess what's the first thing that she said to me in front of everyone in that festival? She said, oh shit, Malik, I couldn't even recognize you. How you become ugly all of a sudden? Like your head is so big. That shit hurts so deep. Like at the time, because like right now when I think back to that situation, I don't feel offended at all because I know exactly how I look like and I'm content with it. But back then I was insecure. I have a low ass self-esteem, and she just said that shit to me. It's like there's already a bomb in my heart, and she's the one that used the lighter and ignite the whatever you want to call it, the little line. She's the one that ignited it. At that specific situation, I didn't react very aggressively to it because I know if I get really mad at her, it's gonna make me look bad because it's gonna make me seem like I care too much. But deep down inside, I did care a lot about what people said about my look. But it just at the time I didn't show that. So went on about my day with my friends. And the same night when I came back home, I jumped onto the couch, lay there, didn't want to do nothing, was venting my frustration out to the air in my house. My mom was like, oh, what's going on, Malik? What's wrong? And the first question I asked my mom was, Mom, do you think I'm ugly? Of course, every mom is gonna tell their son like, no, you're not ugly. From an objective view, back in the days, I wasn't looking too healthy on my face. Specifically, it's not like I'm just not looking healthy as in like a body shape, but I wasn't looking too healthy on my face. Like when people saw me on my face, they probably wouldn't consider me as attractive. But that was completely just unheard of for me, like being called like an ugly person. What the fuck can you do when you're being called ugly? Like you can't do nothing about your look. This shit is genetic. Like how you will look like is already determined the moment you are given birth. So you can't do nothing to change that. It's not like this person's dissing on your test score and well, I just study harder and next time I get a higher test score so my score will be higher than yours and I'll be the one that diss you. When a pretty ass motherfucker said that you're ugly, damn, what the fuck can you do about it? Like this person's a fucking asshole. That's how I was feeling at that moment. I was just disappointed by the way I look. I even blame my mom for giving birth to such an ugly kid. Like, if I was that ugly, what the fuck do you even give birth to me? That type of frustration going on in my head. Then fast forward, when I first came to the United States, I was still carrying that insecurity with me. But at this moment, I don't really give a fuck about how I look anymore. Because over time, over the course of high school, I came to the realization that the way you look is fixed. Like, you either accept it or you let it bother you for good. And I'm not gonna let it bother me for good. So I just don't give a fuck no more. I don't give a fuck about what people think about me in terms of my look. But I did give a fuck about what people think about the way I talk, what people think about my personality, because I always had this problem where I would like to set like a really high standard for myself to a point where I identify with something that I'm not. Because I was insecure about my English, I was insecure about my personality, like how people would judge me as a foreigner from China. So I would want my English to be so good. I would want my personality to be so Americanized to a point where people would mistake me for an American. That's the type of standard that I set for myself, and I was truly sticking to it. I would identify myself as like more American than I was Chinese. I was like lying to myself and shit. The problem is when you identify yourself with something that you're not, something is just off. Like no matter how hard you try, it can be a full self. Like part of yourself is hidden in front of people. That's what caused so much of my social anxiety in front of people, because I always think that I need to put up this front in front of people. I need to hide my accent. I need to try extra hard to have this American accent. I need to try extra hard to have this outgoing personality, shit like that. That caused me like so much social anxiety. Like I would get into a conversation with people like with like a really high energy at the beginning, and then in the middle of the conversation I freaked out because I didn't know if I could like keep up this energy, this vibe, because I was freaking out about it. My train of thought was kind of cut off by that. And when people say something, and I want to say something back, I really wanted to say something, but my anxiety got so bad that mid-sentence I forgot what the fuck I was want to say, and then I would say something that completely just doesn't make sense to like make up for the rest of the sentence. So when it comes to the United States, the fight between me and the insecurity on my look turned into a fight between me and the insecurity of my personality, my English, which was more of a social anxiety. So fast forward a couple months I spent in the United States, for the first time, I lived completely by myself. I need to deal with everything by myself. No one was really having my back. Back home, I can always come home and just hide under my blanket and just run away from things. But in here, I really don't have a home anymore. I have to be completely by myself. I have to make friends by myself, find a job by myself, take care of all the paperwork by myself, just all that. Over the time, as I become more and more independent, as I deal with more and more things all by myself independently, it was kind of like transition from an adolescent to an adult to me during my several months so far of an experience living in the United States. It's like you transition from being just a kid to being an adult that is actually thoughtful about every step that he takes, every decision that he makes. Because now in a foreign country, I can't be dependent on my parents no more. They don't even speak English. So I have to take care of everything by myself in here. Before I get into something, I need to think about what are the consequences that might come with it. Maybe it's a drug. Okay, I think about, okay, if I did this drug, is there any health risk? If I get into a really bad health situation, like the medical bill will be sky high. And plus, my parents are all the way overseas, they're gonna be worried as fuck. Things just gonna get messy. It's gonna get out of hand. And a lot of things that I need to consider. So it was like a transition from adolescent to adulthood. And during the course of this growth in the United States, I began to realize one thing. Like, nobody really be judging that much of others. Not as much as you think. Yeah, we all judge like others when we take the first glance of other people. Yeah, we all judge, at least a little bit. But not as much as those people that are insecure would think. Because people simply just got so much going on in their life, got so much of their own shit to worry about than caring about how the fuck your personality is, how the fuck you look to them, how you sound like to them. People just don't be paying attention to that. For those people that are in their probably early adulthood, that still gives too much shit about what other people would say about their look, or like get their feelings hurt if people say like something about them, like anything, just anything about them. What those people should do is to learn how to be content, like with how they are right now at this moment. People always think that, oh, when I get this, I'll be happy. When I get that, I'll be happy. When I buy myself a big ass crib near the seaside, I'll be happy. When I get money, females will love me. Like, people will always have this mentality. So we really need to learn to be content about ourselves, about who we are right now at this moment. And we need to be conscious and content about where we are right now in life and where do we want to go. How far do we want to go in terms of achieving our goals in our life? And just keep a fucking tunnel vision to that. It was at that moment you would begin to gather this positive energy in you, and you will automatically try to develop a good work ethic. You're content with what you already have right now. So when people say that, oh, you're ugly, you would know that, oh, it's because you think that I'm ugly. You wouldn't take their words as like a fact that would kind of like hurt your feelings. All the people's judgments towards you is just their own subjective opinion. What reserves your energy all to yourself is your perceptions towards yourself. When you think that, oh, you look fine, nobody can really tell you nothing at that point. For me, right now at this moment of early adulthood, I really be giving less fuck about what people would think about me, because I know I'm finna get myself a college degree. I can start off my own business. I'm gonna fucking find a way to get rich, be established in the United States, start off a family, give my kid even a better life than I have right now. And I'm satisfied with my life. It's just that simple. I don't really be caring about like, oh, maybe people think that this person from China, he's so awkward, he's so weird. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm on my journey. You're on your journey. Mind your own fucking business. I'm not trying to be anyone that I'm not. Like, you can tell me that I'm ugly because I look ugly to you, then cool. This is just the way I look. I'm not trying to impress everybody. I'm not trying to look like a way that impresses everybody, because simply I can't. The way I look is already a blessing by God, because it is something that I'm able to be content with. So yeah, for those of you guys who are probably insecure about anything, for me it was look, personality, the way I talk, but maybe for you guys it's like some other stuff that you worried about. What I want to say is focus on your bag. Ask yourself what the fuck you want with life. Go for that shit. That's when you can create this force field around you that block off people's negative comments about whatever you self-conscious about yourself for. Because as human beings, although we are all interconnected, like in some way, but when you look at it from another perspective, each of us is also on our individual journey. How well we travel on that journey is really about how focused you are on your own lane. But don't give a shit about what people from another lane would say about you. They car probably a fucking Ford and you driving a Porsche, and of course they're gonna hate on you. Of course they're gonna be mad at you. Stop giving a fuck and go get that bread. Peace out.